2 weeks ago, the US Food and Drug Administration gave the full approval to Pfizer vaccine. The US Food and Drug Administration is the authority to give licenses to vaccines, and they just gave the full approval to Pfizer only 2 weeks ago. So you wonder, how come the Pfizer was being used before that? Well, before that, Pfizer was used under an emergency use situation. What the media isn't telling you right now is no one can force you to take a vaccine which is under emergency use, meaning you can't be fired from your job for refusing to take an emergency use vaccine. You can't be denied access to your school because you refuse to take an emergency vaccine. Thus, all those doctors and nurses who were fired from their jobs for refusing to take an emergency use vaccine, they were actually fired wrongfully, and they can sue their employers for what they've gone through. Now, with the full approval of the vaccine, it becomes easier to make this vaccine a compulsory vaccine at the job environment. Now, another thing which the media hasn't told you, so the first thing which the media didn't tell you is that the emergency use approval, no one can force you to take an emergency use vaccine. Now, the second thing which the media isn't telling you is that there are two types of Pfizer vaccines. One is fully licensed, fully approved. The other is not fully approved. You can see this at the website, at the Food and Drug Administration administrative website of the USA. Here you go, there are two vaccines. Only one of them is fully approved. That's called Comirnaty. The Pfizer BioNTech, this version still is under emergency use, meaning it's unlicensed. So if you take that vaccine, and if you take this unlicensed one, and if you experience any adverse effects, you aren't going to be able to ask for a compensation. But if it is a fully licensed vaccine, you have the chance of asking for a compensation. Now, a third thing which the media isn't telling you about this Pfizer full license is that it's a full license for Comirnaty. One of the versions of Pfizer is a full license only within the USA. In Australia, they are using this same vaccine, Comirnaty, but it has got only a provincial use, which means it's an unlicensed one. It's not a fully approved vaccine inside Australia. So inside Australia, if you take this vaccine and you have an adverse effect, it doesn't look like you can ask for a compensation. But right now, with the changes which happened in USA, with the FDA giving a full approval to this vaccine, if you get this vaccine in USA with the label Comirnaty and hopefully produced after 23rd August 2021, you have a chance of asking for a compensation in case you have an adverse effect.